In the heart of Manchester, where grey skies often cast shadows over narrow streets, Emily Roberts stood by the window, her reflection a mirror of quiet determination. At 28, she carried the weight of her family's hopes on shoulders. That seemed both fragile and remarkably strong. The small apartment felt smaller with each passing month. Peeling wallpaper and second-hand furniture told stories of struggle, but Emily's eyes held a spark that refused to dim. Her younger brother Thomas, just 17, sat at the worn kitchen table, his schoolbook spread out like a map of potential futures. Their parents' sudden passing 2 years ago had transformed Emily from a young textile worker into the family's sole guardian. The factory where she had worked for 6 years had closed unexpectedly, leaving her with nothing but a stack of unpaid bills and mounting responsibilities. Every morning began the same way. Emily would wake before sunrise, make strong tea in chipped mugs, prepare Thomas's lunch and search through job listings. Her fingers, once nimble in the textile factory, now scrolled endlessly through online job portals. Rejection emails accumulated, like dust in forgotten corners. Thomas watched his sister's resilience with a mixture of admiration and worry. He knew their situation was difficult, but he never heard a complaint from Emily. Her strength was quiet, persistent, like water slowly carving through stone. Their small savings were dwindling. The electricity bill sat on the counter, a red reminder of their precarious financial situation. Emily had already negotiated payment extensions, her voice steady and polite during each phone call, hiding the trembling anxiety beneath her calm exterior. The textile industry in Manchester had changed. Factories were closing, jobs were scarce, and competition was fierce. Emily's experience seemed less valuable with each passing week. She took odd jobs, cleaning offices, helping at local cafes, anything that could bring some money home. Winter was approaching, and with it came additional challenges. Heating would be expensive, winter clothes would be needed, and Thomas's school expenses couldn't be ignored. Emily would stay up late, calculating and recalculating their budget, trying to find impossible solutions. One particularly gloomy evening, as rain tapped against the window like gentle fingers seeking entry, Thomas broke the silence. "We'll be okay, right?" he asked, his young voice carrying a mix of hope and uncertainty. Emily turned from the window, her smile warm despite the shadows under her eyes. "We always are," she responded, her voice steady and reassuring. She didn't mention the job interview. She had tomorrow, another opportunity that might change everything. Her dreams were simple: stability for Thomas, a chance to rebuild their life, and hope. Just hope. She believed that somewhere in this vast, complicated world, an opportunity was waiting. Her resilience wasn't about grand gestures, but about consistent, quiet persistence. The apartment, though small and worn, was filled with something more valuable than material possessions: love, determination, and an unbreakable familial bond. Family photographs on the wall captured moments of happiness, reminding them that their story was far from over. Emily's hands, calloused from work and worry, gently straightened Thomas's collar as he prepared for school. Such small gestures spoke volumes about her dedication. She wasn't just a sister. She was a guardian, a provider, a beacon of hope. Outside, Manchester continued its rhythm. Trains moving, people rushing, life continuing. And inside this small apartment, Emily Roberts represented something profound: the extraordinary resilience of ordinary people facing extraordinary challenges. As dawn broke, casting soft light through the thin curtains, Emily began another day. No grand declarations, no dramatic speeches, just quiet, persistent hope. Her story was just beginning, and despite everything, she believed in a better tomorrow. Thomas grabbed his backpack, gave his sister a quick hug, and headed out. Emily watched him go, her heart full of love and determination. Another day, another opportunity to prove that hope wasn't just a word, it was a way of living. The city awakened around them, unaware of the small miracle of resilience happening. In one modest apartment, a testament to the human spirit's incredible capacity to endure, to hope, and to transform challenges into opportunities. The rain fell softly against the window of the community center, droplets creating intricate patterns That matched the complexity of Emily's emotions. She stood nervously, clutching her application form, her hands slightly trembling. The community center felt like a beacon of possibility in her otherwise challenging world. Inside, posters advertised various skill training programs. Cooking, computer skills, business management. Each poster represented a potential pathway out of her current struggles. Emily had always loved cooking, a skill inherited from her mother, who could transform simple ingredients into meals that felt like warm hugs. Mr. Harris, the center's program coordinator, noticed her hesitation. He was a kind-looking man in his 50s, with glasses that reflected understanding and wisdom. "First time here?" he asked, his voice gentle and encouraging. Emily nodded, explaining her situation briefly. Unemployment, a younger brother to support, and dreams that seemed increasingly distant. Mr. Harris listened carefully, sensing the determination behind her soft-spoken words. The cooking course was more than just a skill training program. It represented hope, a potential escape from the endless cycle of temporary jobs and financial uncertainty. Emily knew this could be her chance to create something meaningful, not just for herself but for Thomas. That evening, she shared the news with her brother. Thomas's eyes lit up with excitement. "You're an amazing cook," he said, remembering. "Countless family meals prepared by their mother. This could be your big break." The first day of the course arrived. Emily dressed carefully, wearing her best modest outfit, a simple blue sweater and dark jeans. She wanted to look professional, serious about her opportunity. The classroom was filled with diverse individuals, each carrying their own stories of hope and struggle. Their instructor, Chef Williams, was different from what Emily expected. Not a stern professional in a white hat, but a passionate cook who believed food could heal and connect people. He spoke about cooking not just as a skill, but as an art of love and community. During practical sessions, Emily discovered something remarkable about herself. Her hands, once tired from factory work, moved with surprising grace and precision. Chopping vegetables became a rhythm, seasoning a delicate dance of flavors. She wasn't just learning, she was rediscovering a part of herself. Other students noticed her natural talent. A middle-aged woman named Margaret would often compliment Emily's techniques. "For you have a gift," she would say, watching Emily transform simple ingredients into beautiful dishes. Thomas supported her journey, sometimes helping her practice recipes at home. Their small apartment would fill with delicious aromas momentarily, transforming their modest living space into a culinary workshop. These moments brought them closer, healing the wounds of their recent losses. The course wasn't just about cooking techniques. It taught business skills, menu planning, and basic restaurant management. Emily absorbed every piece of information, seeing each lesson as a potential stepping stone towards a better future. Financial challenges remained, but something had changed. Hope, once a distant concept, now felt tangible. Emily began to see herself not just as a struggling sister, but as a potential professional with real skills and opportunities. Her classmates came from various backgrounds. Some were young students, others were career changers, and some were like Emily, seeking a new path. They supported each other, sharing recipes, techniques, and personal stories of resilience. Chef Williams recognized something special in Emily: her dedication, her ability to listen and learn, and her genuine passion set her apart. He began offering her additional guidance, seeing potential beyond the standard curriculum. As weeks passed, Emily's confidence grew. The nervous woman who had initially entered the community center was transforming. Her shoulders became straighter, her smile more confident, her vision clearer. Thomas watched this transformation with pride. He saw his sister not just surviving, but beginning to truly live. Their small apartment, once a symbol of struggle, now felt like a place of possibility and potential. The cooking course represented more than skill training. It was a lifeline, a bridge between their challenging past and a hopeful future. Emily had discovered that sometimes hope arrives in unexpected packages, in this case, wrapped in an apron and carrying a set of kitchen knives. As another rainy Manchester evening settled, Emily knew something significant had changed. Her journey was just beginning. and for the first time in years she was excited about what might come next. The kitchen became Emily's battlefield, her cutting board her shield, and her determination her most powerful weapon. Cooking classes. Transformed from a simple skill course to a complex challenge that tested every ounce of her resilience. Chef Williams pushed the students hard. Each day brought new techniques, more complex recipes, and increasingly demanding expectations. While other students occasionally complained or considered quitting, Emily remained silent and focused. Her eyes never left the ingredients, her hands moving with increasing confidence. Thomas noticed the change in his sister. She would return home late, exhausted but different. Her notebooks were filled with detailed recipe notes, technique sketches, and passionate observations about cooking. Dinner conversations transformed from survival discussions to culinary explorations. The financial pressure never disappeared. Emily still juggled part-time cleaning jobs with her cooking course. Some nights she would study recipe books, while simultaneously ironing uniforms for her cleaning work. Her life was a delicate balance of survival and dreams. Winter arrived, harsh and unforgiving in Manchester. Cold winds cut through the city, making every journey a challenge. Emily's old coat, patched in several places, became her armor against the harsh weather. She would walk to her cooking classes, her bag heavy with ingredients and hopes. During one particularly challenging week, the cooking course reached its most difficult stage. Advanced sauce techniques, complex pastry work, and professional kitchen management principles pushed every student to their limits. Some gave up, their dreams dissolving like sugar in hot water. But Emily was different. Each failure became a learning opportunity. When her first hollandaise sauce separated, she didn't cry. She cleaned her station, asked Chef Williams for advice, and tried again. Her persistence surprised even her experienced instructor. Mr. Williams began to see Emily as more than just another student. Her background, losing her parents, supporting her brother, surviving unemployment, had given her a resilience that couldn't be taught in cooking classes. She treated recipes like life challenges, methodical, patient, determined. The other students started noticing her dedication. Margaret, an older woman in the class, would often bring Emily extra ingredients, recognizing her potential. "You remind me of myself 40 years ago," she would say, her eyes twinkling with understanding. Thomas became her biggest supporter. He would help her practice recipes, taste her experiments, and provide honest feedback. Their small apartment transformed into a mini culinary school every evening. Pots, pans, and ingredients covered every available surface. Financial challenges continued to hover like a dark cloud. Some days Emily would look at their electricity bill and wonder how they would manage, but she never let these worries interrupt her cooking practice. Each recipe became a small rebellion against their circumstances. Chef Williams saw something special in Emily. During a private conversation, he shared insights about the professional cooking world. "Talent is good," he told her, "but persistence is everything." His words became her silent mantra. The cooking course wasn't just about learning recipes, it was about understanding discipline, patience, and the art of transformation. Emily was learning to transform simple ingredients into beautiful dishes, just as she was transforming her own life. Her hands, once tired from factory work, now moved with precision and grace. Chopping became a rhythm, seasoning a delicate dance. She was creating more than just food, she was creating possibilities. Some nights, exhausted from juggling cleaning jobs and cooking classes, Emily would sit by the window. Manchester's rainy streets reflected her journey. Challenging, unpredictable, but ultimately beautiful. She would look at Thomas, sleeping peacefully, and find her motivation renewed. The cooking course was teaching her more than culinary skills. It was teaching her about hope, about believing in herself when no one else would. Each recipe was a small victory, each technique a step towards a better future. As another challenging week ended, Emily realized something profound. Life, like cooking, was about understanding ingredients, managing challenges, and believing in the possibility of creating something beautiful. Her journey was far from over. But for the first time in years, Emily Roberts wasn't just surviving. She was preparing to thrive. The community center buzzed with energy on demonstration day. Local restaurant owners and business professionals wandered between cooking stations, tasting and evaluating students' culinary creations. Emily stood quietly, her hands slightly trembling, but her eyes reflecting an inner calm. Mr. Henderson, a well-known restaurant owner in Manchester, moved slowly through the room. His reputation for being tough and selective was legendary in the local culinary scene. He had rejected countless aspiring chefs, his critical eye missing nothing. Emily's station was simple but meticulously prepared. Traditional British recipes with a subtle modern twist. Comfort food that told a story. Her shepherd's pie wasn't just a dish. It was a memory of family dinners, of love carefully baked into every layer. When Mr. Henderson approached her station, the room seemed to go quiet. Emily took a deep breath. Her brother Thomas, sitting in the corner, watched with hopeful eyes. He knew how much this moment meant to his sister. The first bite changed everything. Mr. Henderson's expression shifted. What started as a professional assessment transformed into genuine appreciation. Emily's dish wasn't just technically perfect, it carried emotion. Each flavor told a story of resilience, of family, of hope. "Where did you learn to cook like this?" he asked, his usually stern voice surprisingly soft. Emily explained her journey briefly, the community center course, her personal struggles, her passion for cooking. Her story wasn't just about food, it was about survival, about creating beauty. From challenging circumstances, Mr. Henderson listened carefully. He saw beyond the dish. He saw a young woman who represented something more than culinary skill. He saw determination, creativity, and an unbreakable spirit. "I might have a position at my restaurant," he said slowly. The words hung in the air, heavy with possibility. Thomas couldn't contain his excitement. He hugged Emily right there in the community center, tears mixing with unexpected joy. Their long journey of struggle seemed to pause at this moment of potential transformation. The sale. Job offer wasn't just about employment. It represented a lifeline, a bridge between their challenging past and a hopeful future. Emily would be a junior chef with opportunities to learn and grow. That evening, their small apartment felt different. The usual tension of financial worry was replaced by a sense of possibility. Thomas prepared a celebration meal, his own way of honoring his sister's achievement. Emily's hands, which had known factory work, cleaning jobs, and now professional cooking, seemed to tell a story of transformation. Each callus, each small scar represented a chapter of her resilience. The restaurant position meant steady income, professional training, and a chance to build a real career. Mr. Henderson wasn't just offering a job, he was offering an opportunity to rebuild their lives. News spread quickly through their small community. Neighbors who had watched Emily's struggles now looked at her with respect. The woman who had seemed invisible was now becoming visible, her talents finally recognized. Chef. Williams, her instructor, couldn't have been prouder. "Some people are born to cook," he told her, "but you were born to tell stories through food." Thomas became her biggest supporter. He understood that this opportunity was more than a job. It was a chance to heal, to grow, to hope. Their parents, though gone, seemed present in this moment of triumph. Manchester, with its grey skies and industrial history, had always been a city of resilience. Emily's journey was another testament to the city's spirit, ordinary people achieving extraordinary things through determination and hard work. The job offer represented more than employment. It was validation of every difficult moment, every late-night study session, every recipe practiced in their small kitchen. It was proof that persistence could transform dreams into reality. As night fell over Manchester, Emily looked out their apartment window. The city lights seemed brighter, the future more promising. She wasn't just a survivor anymore. She was becoming the author of her own story, one recipe at a time. Thomas squeezed her hand. No words were needed. Their journey of hope continued, one beautiful, unexpected moment at a time. 6 months had passed since Emily's life-changing moment at the community center. Mr. Henderson's restaurant, Manchester's Hearth, had become more than just a workplace. It was her new home, her sanctuary of hope. Her skills grew rapidly. What started as a junior chef position transformed into something more significant. Emily's unique approach to traditional recipes caught the attention of regular customers and restaurant critics alike. Her dishes weren't just meals, they were stories told through flavor and technique. Thomas continued his studies, inspired by his sister's transformation. The financial pressure that had once suffocated their family began to ease. Emily's steady income allowed them to move to a small but comfortable apartment. No more patches on coats, no more worry about electricity bills. The restaurant became a platform for Emily's true passion. She started organizing community cooking classes on weekends, giving back to the very community center that had first welcomed her. Her classes were different. They weren't just about cooking techniques, but about hope, resilience, and believing in oneself. Mr. Henderson watched her growth with pride. He saw something special in Emily, not just culinary talent, but a genuine ability to connect with people through food. Her story began to spread through Manchester's culinary circles. Local newspapers picked up her story. From unemployment to culinary success, one headline read. Emily was uncomfortable with the attention but understood the power of sharing her journey. If her story could inspire one person to keep fighting, it would be worth it. The community center where she had first learned cooking became a special place. Emily started a scholarship program, helping other struggling individuals pursue their culinary dreams. She remembered her own journey, how a single opportunity had changed everything. Thomas was thriving too. With improved financial stability, he could focus on his studies. He looked at his sister with a mixture of admiration and love, understanding the sacrifices she had made for their family. Emily's cooking style became legendary in Manchester. She didn't just cook traditional British dishes, she reimagined them. Shepherd's pie became a canvas of creativity, each recipe telling a story of survival and hope. Customers didn't just eat her food, they experienced her journey. Weekend community classes became a highlight for many. People from different backgrounds would gather, learning more than just cooking techniques. Emily taught resilience, hope, and the power of believing in oneself. Her classes were always full, waiting lists growing longer each month. Mr. Henderson recognized her potential and offered her more responsibilities. She was no longer just a junior chef, but a key part of the restaurant's creative team. Her input was valued, her creativity celebrated. Their small apartment, once a symbol of struggle, now felt like a testament to hope. Cooking books lined shelves, family photographs told stories of survival and triumph. Every corner spoke of their journey. Emily never forgot where she came from. She maintained connections with her old cleaning job colleagues, always ready to offer support or advice. Her success wasn't about personal achievement, but about lifting others. The restaurant became more than a workplace. It was a community hub, a place where people shared stories, found hope, and celebrated life through food. Emily was at the center of this transformation. Thomas watched his sister with pride. The scared, struggling woman who had once worried about paying bills was now a confident, successful professional. Her journey inspired him to chase his own dreams. As another Manchester winter approached, Emily reflected on her journey. The city that had once seemed so challenging had become her canvas of opportunity. Every rainy street, every industrial building now represented possibility. Her cooking was more than a profession, it was a form of storytelling. Each dish represented a chapter of her life, each flavor a memory of struggle and triumph. Customers didn't just taste food, they experienced her journey. The community center that had first welcomed her now displayed her photograph, a beacon of hope for others facing similar challenges. Emily had become living proof that with determination, support, and belief, anything was possible. As evening settled over Manchester, Emily looked out the window of their apartment. The city lights twinkled, reflecting the hope that had guided her journey. She was no longer just surviving, she was thriving, creating a beautiful life one recipe at a time. Her story wasn't just about cooking, it was about resilience, hope, and the incredible power of believing in oneself.